Now, what I've got here is a shrimp fly, this pattern here. Now this is tying this for a friend that's going to be fishing for sea trout. Now I'm going to be doing the brown version, pink. Now, thread I'm going to be using, this is a Chartreuse thread. I'm just going to use an 8/0 thread. You could use a 6/0, you could use white. The Chartreuse suits the fly, so it's a colour combination. Hook size, this is just a shrimp hook. Basically this is a size 4. Now we start the thread at the eye, and we put down a layer of thread along the shank. Just work your way along. I like to come just slightly round the bend. Just put a bit of wax on my thread at this point. Then we tie in some, now this is dyed Chartreuse Mallard flank. These fibres here. Now with this feather I'll get 2 flies out it. So take away the fluff, and then what I'm going to do is take cut a V in, so I've got basically a split fibre either side. Now there's the tip of the feather as well, which can be used, so I'm taking the tip out of that. I'll just use that just to show you. You tie this on the top so you get a nice split. Now what I do is just basically fold it like I was probably doing a wing of a fly, tie this on, and then make sure it's secure. Just go up and back down, and then just open these fibres out, and that gives you a good impression of legs. And then we can tie in my eyes. Now eyes, the ones I'm using, now you could use, there's 3 colours. The ones I'm going to be using this fly, just the orange, this one. You can see, and these are called easy shrimp eyes. So easy to tie them in, you have no idea, it's quite simple to actually use these. The one, you'll see on the one side here, you can maybe hear it, there's a sort of serrated edge or an edge on it that you can actually tie your thread, and that gives you a lot of grip. And that being tapered as well, we just tie these on top. It's very easy to secure them in, nice and tight. Just have your wax on my thread, just making sure it's secure. Now it's a simple fly to tie, really is. Now I'm going to use a large yellow, it's a pale yellow hackle. Now this has a wee touch of fluorescence in it, and I'm using the larger ones for the legs. It's just a Chinese cock hackle, cape that I've dyed. Just going to tie it in at the bottom. At the bottom of this, just remove the fluff. Just going to tie this on. Now I'm going to use this hackle to lift, separate the leg fibres. So what we're going to do is just fold the hackle, and then we do a turn in front of the other. Just wind in the hackle. Say up about 3 to 4 mil. Then we come over. Now to protect that, what I like to do is take the thread through it and come back up. Straight turns, then we can break that off. And all we have to do is just slightly draw these back. Now this will hold out the legs, or help to get them to fish that are pulsate that you're wanting. So I'm just going to draw it back. Now what we're doing is just going to tie in some of the legs of the Chartreuse. Now you could spin this on, you'll see there's a few versions that they actually spin the fibre on, they make a dubbing loop, but I'm just going to use the hackle to lift and separate these fibres. So we take some of our craft fur and Chartreuse, get the length we want. What I'm doing is just slightly spreading it, using my fingers. You want these to sort of pulsate, just trim it the length of the body. I'm going to get some of the yellow. Now this is the fin Raccoon. I need some of the guard here, and I want some of the under fur. So I've got there, just cut it close to the skin. And then get the length. Now what I'm going to do is roll this round. It's quite simple, just to get the thread, just encourage the fibre to roll all the way around, tighten up, and again just come in here at a slight angle, cut the fibres so you're tapering these fibres. This helps to form the taper in the body of the shrimp. We just run it up thread up, making sure this is secure. Now wee quick, I'm going to use the brush here, just an old toothbrush, just to draw back these fibres and mix them in. Then we bring the thread back down. Now as you bring it towards the hackle, you'll see that it's slightly starting to lift out because it's coming up against the hackle, and that then will allow these fibres to sort of pulsate. Now I'm going to add in a wee bit of flash. Now I'm just going to use some Krystal flash. Got 2 strands. Now it's quite easy just to get them to sit, say 2/3 of the way down the legs. Just set them on the top. And make sure they're secure, just set them where you want. And these 2 ends, what I do is I bring them down either side, just to sort of work into the legs. And then we can trim them, say half the length. And there we are, quite simple to do, and that just gives a wee bit of flash into it. You can see this sort of shape that you're looking for. Now, again, just making sure everything's nice and secure. Now we're going to use some silver wire. Just you're looking for a sort of medium wire, a nice strong wire. So you tie this on the way down, nice and tight. Then I'm going back to my cape and tie in a large hackle. A nice long fibre. Again, I'm going to tie it in at the bottom. Just going to make sure it's secure. Take the thread up and back down. Now the body I'm going to use, basically you could actually use this as the underfur of the craft fur itself. Just always keep a hold of it, and you can blend it and then mix it in with some flash if you want. And I've got some here. Just blending it in so that you get a nice mix for your body. Something like light bright, diamond bright, any material, any sort of glister, all these are excellent sort of synthetic fibres you can blend in just to get a wee bit of shine. You could use a fritz as well, like a long sort of straggle like fritz. All I'm doing here is just working my way down, tighten up when I need to, taper on the body as I wind towards the eye. Now you can see the dub and blend just goes on really easy. If you blend it up, you'll get a nice easy mix to sort of blend onto, or to dub onto your thread. Anything going forward, just draw it back, make a nice space for the head. Now what I'm going to do is wind the hackle the opposite way I actually wind my thread on, and the way I'm going to wind the rib, so that across rib this hackle is a wind up, which will protect it. So you just basically bring your hackle up, get to this point, do a turn across the hackle and then a turn onto the hook, do the same again. Then all I do is simply fold it back, just form a nice or small head. You can break this off, and then we're going to wind my wire up through, which is cross ribbing your hackle, which will protect it. And as we get to the head of the fly, with your thread, come up, pull it up, 90-degree bend into the wire. Just make sure it's secure. Just wind right towards the eye. Now I fold it back, build up the head, just draw it back, just a small head with the thread, tucking back the wire, then we can bend and break it away. Then we can straighten our whip finish. Trim away with thread. Then get your Velcro, and really what you do is rough up or bring out the dubbing just all the way around. This will soften up the fibre as well, make for a very mobile type shroud pattern. As you see, it's a very easy fly to tie. You can see how it works in. You just brush it in with the Velcro, and bit of moisture on the fly and my fingers here, so you can just bring out the eyes so you can see them. Once it's in the water, it'll pulsate really well. Really simple shrimp pattern to tie, very popular. Just going to put a couple of coats of varnish on, so all the way around. And there we are, and that's your basic shrimp pattern. Now the craft fur comes from this gentleman here, it's Jensen. So this is materials there, so if you want to buy some of the craft fur, this is where to get it. So I hope you enjoyed that.